The New York Knicks are on the road to take on the Boston Celtics. It is game one of this series, and my best bets are on the way. If you are new, my name is Austin. Here's how this video is going to go. We'll dive into a recap of yesterday. We'll go to our three favorite picks. I have a parlay, and then we'll end with my favorite side or total in this game. But like I said, as always, we begin with a recap of how we did yesterday. A one-on-one day. We lost barely any juice. We had Şengün's over in points and rebounds. He came through. Steph Curry could not make that fifth three-pointer for us. Shot 10 of them, made 4. He really didn't get going until that second half, really in the end of the third, into the fourth quarter. Oh, well, we can live with that. Our VIP play was Gary Payton's under, and he didn't even play. So nothing much we can do there. However, we did make up some coin, cash in our underdog slip, which you can obviously tail on other books. The first two legs were easy. The last two were sweaty. We ended up cashing with a Mobley rebound on an offensive rebound with like 35 seconds left. We take those underdog slip coming later on in this video. Now, you might be like, Austin, there's 2 games on today. We're only talking about one here. Yeah, there's a separate video live for this game, Nuggets and Thunder. Separate video should be live probably like 15, 20 minutes after this video drops. Go check that out. We got 2 player props, a parlay, and of course, I'll touch on who I think wins or covers in that game, slide and total, like we're going to try to do in these individual videos going forward. As always, let's dive into the picks. A reminder at the end of the video, we're going to talk a little bit more about Underdog Fantasy, the best daily fantasy app out there, available in a ton of different states in the United States. Check it out. You can sign up using my code COS or the link down below. Deposit match up to $1,000. Free money. Take advantage. You'll also get this Tatum free pick. Take advantage. Code COS. We'll talk about underdog at the end of the video. Try to hit another slip. But let's dive into our first play of the day. And under OG Anunoby. Under 17.5 points plus assists. Minus 115 on Bet365. Now, I went back and forth on trying to decide between OG 15.5 points or 17.5 points plus assists. They clearly go hand in hand. OG, knock on wood, not normally a guy that gets, 4 or 5, 6 assists. He's normally 1 or 2, maybe 3 assists kind of guy. I want points and assists. I think the hit rate will be basically the same if you just want to take his under in points, or maybe you don't have a points and assist line. I love his under in points at 15.5. Now, I've only faded OG a couple times this season. Most recently, it was in, I think, Game 6 of the Pistons series, and he torched me. The Pistons decided, you know what? We're going to leave OG wide open. Let's see what happens. And he was knocking down his threes. However, that is not really the case against Boston. And OG's struggled against them this season. In 3 games versus Boston, he's had 7, 12, and 14 points plus assists. So going under pretty easily. Now, the biggest thing about OG, why does he struggle in this matchup? Well, his top 3 scoring methods are these: spot up shooting, transition scoring, and free throws. Well, the Celtics rank 5th, 3rd, and 1st defensively there. So they really don't give up a lot of points per game to where OG scores. Hence why I like his under. Additionally, you look at the Bucks. They're like looking at his other props. His under in threes at 2.5 is juiced to minus 320. So they're saying more often than not, we don't think OG's making 3 threes. And this season, he's played in 31 games with Cat and Brunson active, where he made 2 or fewer threes, which is what the books are saying. And in those games, he averages 13 points and assists, going under in 81% of games, 25 of 31. I get it. He's going to be out there a ton because they need him for defensive purposes against Tatum. But again, I don't see this being a great matchup for him. I was hoping his line would be a little bit higher given how he played in the Pistons series, but they left him open a lot more than Boston will. They'll stay home on him. Jaylen Brown's probably his primary defender, not a guy who can really bully ball down low. I love OG Anunoby's under in points plus assists. OG, I'm a Knicks fan. I love you. Let someone else do the work today. I just don't think it's a great OG Anunoby matchup, so we'll take his under. My second play is going to be a same game parlay, a pretty clear pivot. But I like this SGP a little bit more than this guy's regular over in points. But in large and total, well, he's going to need to get pretty close to that over because it is Kristaps Porzingis. I like him to score 15 plus points, to make 2 threes as well. You combine these, it's about minus 136 on FanDuel, just a half unit play. I think on DraftKings, this was minus 145. BetMGM and Bet365 are right around minus 140. His regular points line, it was 16.5, but only on one book, it was bumped up to 17.5. Now, Kristaps could get to, his regular points line at 17.5 and not make 2 threes. That could happen. But again, I don't see him getting there without making 2 threes. Now, if you were to just say, Austin, this guy's not making any threes in that Magic series. Well, yeah, it's the Orlando Magic. They don't give up a lot of threes. And the way that they defend guys is they're going to switch everything. So you saw Tatum have massive games because they switched Wendell Carter Jr. on him, and Tatum was just cooking that matchup. The Knicks, really, I don't see them doing that. Now, they could. It's a game one. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. But when I look at the Knicks and how they've played them this season, and then what I expect from the Celtics is going to be a lot of pick and rolls with Karl Anthony Towns. And who's Karl Anthony Towns going to guard? Kristaps Porzingis. So again, the Knicks don't want Tatum and Towns switched on to Tatum. So what you end up seeing, what we've seen so far this season is when they call that Kristaps screen up to set for Tatum, Cat will hedge. Kristaps pick and pops to the 3-point line, wide open three. And Kristaps in the games against the Knicks attempted a ton of threes. In fact, this season, in his 2 games versus the Knicks, he scored 15 and 34, but he made 2 and 8 3-pointers. The biggest thing, though, 9 and 13 3-point attempts. So if you're looking for a ladder, Kristaps threes might not be a terrible one, but again, I think Cat will come up, be that primary defender for Kristaps. He doesn't want to switch on to Tatum, so you're going to see him hedge, boom, drop pass to Mr. Kristaps. He should get wide open threes all night long until the Knicks make some adjustments. What are the adjustments? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe switching and letting Tatum cook Towns, but I don't think that's what they start with. I liked Kristaps over in first quarter points because I think that's how we start it, and we'll see if the Knicks make adjustments as the game goes on, if Kristaps is knocking down those shots. But again, those 9 and 13 threes in his 2 games versus the Knicks this year, exactly the same result of this action. Cat doesn't want to come out on the perimeter. I think he gets wide open threes. I'll take him to make 2, which will be on his way to get into 15+ points. I know that he didn't have a great Magic series, but the man was getting bonked on the head. He was going to the locker room like every single game with like a massive cut on his forehead. It was a tough series for Kristaps. I think he has a little bit better series. So if he's not in the locker room every single game, I really like Kristaps though for 15 points and 2+ threes. You can take his regular over in points if you want to. I just rather not do that. I like 15 and 2. My third play, sadly, to do this, it's a double club exclusive. It's an under and rebounds. Yesterday's double club exclusive didn't go because Gary Payton had an illness. But today's guy will be suiting up. Tonight is an under and rebounds. You can check it out. Is linked down below. Get in the dub club. Join there. We should also have a ladder challenge running today. A reminder, $10 off your first month. That link is down below. It makes it $5 for your first month, which should carry it to mostly into probably in the NBA finals as well. So take advantage of that. That's my third play today. Before we go in to who I think wins, covers, side, or total, I first need to talk about my underdog slip and wrap up how I feel about props in this game. A reminder, this was our underdog slip from yesterday. You can sign up using my code COS, deposit match up to $1,000 in this Tatum free pick. Let's see if we can run back-to-back winners. This was yesterday's. Here's what I'm rolling with today. Jalen Brunson, less than 7.5 assists. Josh Hart, more than 19.5 points and rebounds, and the other 2 legs are already things I've already talked about. This has never been a good matchup for Brunson to get assists. I would take the regular line at 6.5, but I think he could maybe end on 7. I don't see him getting 8. Now, Josh Hart is actually going to be the guy that Kristaps probably guards, and I think Josh Hart's going to have, number 1, the foot speed, and number 2, they're going to leave Josh Hart open. They're just going to make him beat them, and he's had a pretty good job here. They also kind of need him out there for defense. I just don't see McBride playing a ton because they'll just go destroy him and campaign too. So you'll have Josh Hart out there a good amount. They're not really going to try to isolate onto him. So I think he has a lot of opportunities. We know the Celtics shoot a ton of threes. Josh Hart's rebounding percentage on threes is a lot higher. So I think if you throw $20 on this, it turns it over 100. I like all 4 of those legs. We'll see if we can hit that underdog slip for back-to-back games. I'll have another one in the Thunder and Nuggets video as well. Finally, I'll talk about who I think wins and covers in this game. I don't have a big lean on the spread, but here's a total that I do like. I like the Knicks team total under 102.5. Now, our leans record, which counts for absolutely nothing, is 2-0. We had Warriors money line yesterday. I'm not putting any of my own money on it, but I want to track to see how we would do on the leans as the rest of the season goes on. If I become a fade in them, cool. Make some money fading, but I don't put any money on them. But I do like the Knicks team total under. I've already talked about OG and Anunoby in this bad matchup. It's not a good matchup for Cat. This is a Piston. When we think about the Knicks, they have struggled scoring against the Pistons. And I think the Celtics defense is a little bit better than the Pistons. And what they were really good at is limiting free throws. And we know Brunson, he's going to get a lot of usage, but they have arguably the best perimeter defender in basketball with Drew Holiday, who's seen Brunson a ton. And what the Celtics are really good at is not giving Jalen Brunson free throw attempts. This season, he's only attempted 18 free throws in I think the 3 or 4 games he played against them, and 13 of them came in one game. They were just undisciplined there. I look at them to be locked in here, limiting those free throw attempts. And if they're limiting those, it's going to be really tough sledding for the Knicks to score. They're going to need Bridges or Hart to get hot from deep. I don't think it's coming. So I do like their team total under 102.5. Like I said, I'm not playing it for anything, but that's where I would lean. I don't really love a side or spread. I lean Celtics, but I can see the Knicks keeping it close in a little grinded out type of game. So again, those are my picks. Let's have ourselves a great start to these series. Kind of wish I made some picks in that Pacers Cavaliers game yesterday in game one, but it is what it is. We made some money on the underdog slip, which hopefully we do once again today. A reminder, a bunch of links down below. You'll find the Underdog Fantasy link. Use code COS or that link to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Also, you get that Tatum free pick. There's also a link to get that Dub Club exclusive play. Again, it's an under and rebounds. It's already been posted. You can go check it out. Link down below. Get $10 off your first month. So it's only $5. Also, should have a ladder challenge coming in a little bit. Either way, let's have a great day. If you want to check out that Nuggets and Thunder video, should be live in a little bit. Once it is live, I'll link it on the screen. Let's dominate and sweep the board today. I'll see you guys back again in the next one. Peace.